Hi Scorpio, friends, family, and cross-watchers. It is Monday, December 11th, but whenever you come across this reading, it is for you. Welcome to Bear Food Mama Intuitive Reading. We're going to open with a sound healing and then jump right in. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Nice. Okay, so when I was pulling out the cards today, I felt drawn to pull a few from the Lenormand deck. I don't always like to use the Lenormand deck just because I feel it's really like, I feel like, I don't know, I get this sense that it's grounded in like material things, but there's nothing wrong with that. And especially I think during this season, people are kind of, you know, shopping, getting their Christmas stuff together, or however you celebrate, like there's a season of giving. And I don't know, I have a good feeling about it today. So we're gonna just read your energies for this week. What does Scorpio need to know this week, Spirit? Anchor, 35. You might be 35 years old. Your birthday might be on the 8th. This anchor is telling me that there might be something either weighing you down or anchoring you in position. Again, this deck gives me the feeling of like a more 3D reality. So you might be like anchoring, esoteric is the word that comes to mind, but like some 5D concepts into reality. In this deck as well, the ship is indicative of a prison. So you might be feeling a little bit confined by the constraints of, ooh, that was weird how that came out, by the constraints of the 3D. So I think this is the Queen of Wands, but it's the snake. Card 7, your birthday might be on the 7th of November. The snake always indicates to me Kundalini energy, which is interesting that it's coming out in this reading as the anchor, because represented in the chakra system, the Kundalini is wrapped around like the cosmic egg at the base of the spine or the sacral chakra. I think it's Muladhara. I don't know. I'm not great at the pronunciation, the Sanskrit pronunciation, but this is the energy that moves up the Sushumna, or the spine. So you might be experiencing having come out of like a spiritual awakening and needing to reground yourself in the 3D with these two cards coming out. And I don't think there's a better time for that than the holidays, because the holidays, this season is very much like full of good food, full of good cheer, full of like family or other people, or there's like, you know, the spirit of giving and gratitude is in the air. And I don't think there's anything better for getting grounded after a major spiritual like awakening than having gratitude for like the small things, especially the sensory, even if it's just like a cup of hot cocoa on a cold night, you know, something like that. The fox reversed. So if somebody was pulling the wool over your eyes, this may come to light by the 14th, which is in 3 days time. Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm giving away a free reading. You can put free reading in the comments below still, and I will announce the winner in a separate post tomorrow. So look out for that. Anyway, so we have 8, 9 of clubs here, and then the 7, card 7, 7, 8, 9. You might be seeing synchronicities in those numbers, 7, 8, 9. The fox is like wily, cunning, sneaky. So yeah, anything that was hidden from you is coming to light within a couple days time. The sun, yeah, there, as I'm saying it, you might be 31 years old. 1, 3, you might be seeing 3, 3, 3. So the sun, reversed and upright, it means happiness in the normal tarot. The scythe, which is like death reversed, Jack of Diamonds. This guy can be like not, you know, very nice. This is strange. let's see, I'm going to put this over here. We'll clarify all of these, I think with the Thoth and then the regular tarot. But what I'm getting is that you went through a major spiritual awakening, and then managed, these two cards want to come out. So I guess we'll, yeah, the Emperor reverse and the Seven of Cups. Okay. You went through like a major spiritual awakening and needed to like get grounded, and maybe you're feeling a little bit confined by the necessity of getting grounded right now, but this is sort of part of the journey of like allowing that Kundalini to move up through you. It opens the chakras. You get kind of a new power, like pertaining to each chakra. Each chakra has its own like demon, and I think in the Gnostic traditions, Mary Magdalene encounters 7 demons, or she's exorcised of 7 demons, and these can be related to like the demons of the 7 chakras, as well as like Dante's Inferno. When he goes to the Inferno, there's 7 layers of hell. These are basically like the journey into the self, right? There's 7 steps. There's like a something in each of your chakra centers in your physical body, and then clearing these out, going through that process awakens you to some new psychic abilities, which is kind of part of the philosophy of yoga. So maybe you awakened some sort of psychic ability with this Kundalini energy rising, and somebody did not like that. You have 7, 7, and 14 here. So this Emperor reversed is a controlling person. Somebody trying to keep you oppressed, especially combined here with the Fox reverse. I like super don't like that energy at all. But again, this is something that's coming to light for you by this week. And then the Death card is in reverse here. Somebody may be trying to resurrect something with you. Somebody may have been trying to keep you stuck by like casting illusions, and you having this awakening experience. I'm getting these cards are you, and then these 3 cards are somebody else's energy. So this coming to light about this person is actually going to make you both happy, which is interesting. I think maybe this is the power that you've awakened in yourself, is like it is a Scorpio, right? Like the power of resurrection and transmutation, or rebirth, like is also like part of that process is judgment. And while judgment isn't here, the Emperor sits here on his throne in a sort of state of judgment. And when I'm getting like closing out this cycle reversed, or the scythe reversed, it's like somebody who's casting illusions about, I think, what was available to you, because this scythe also, it indicates death, but there's a coffin in this deck as well. It also indicates like the work needed to bring in a harvest, especially with card 10 ending on a cycle. The wheat here, the scythe like cuts the wheat from the chaff, I think that's how you say it. So somebody may have been withholding some sort of harvest from you. This could even be you. If you have Aries in your chart with this Emperor, it could be some aspect of yourself that was like playing trickster on you, casting illusions on your ability to like bring in a harvest. It could be self-sabotage. That's coming to light this week, which very well may mean that you have an opportunity available to you this week, and you like take it, and you don't expect to like bring in some fulfillment from that, but you do, and then you're like, oh, I've been casting illusions about my capabilities this entire time. That's interesting. Okay. What else do Scorpios need to know? I'm being called to call on the energy of Archangel Michael to protect this reading. Send any negative energy or illusions back to sender, transmuted tenfold. For the greatest good of all. Amen. So let it be, as above, so below. Whew. 4 of Swords. So this rest and recovery period and this anchor, you may have really needed to take the time to like ground whatever concepts you've awakened in yourself in reality. And while you've been doing this 4 and this 4, I don't know why this is coming through specifically, but the Emperor holds the Ankh and the sphere, which indicates the world, in his hands. And the Ankh is the water of life, which has been also, is also symbolic of the, like, waters of the womb. So I'm getting that this is a male figure holding, like, the feminine power of creation, the world and the waters of the womb, and, like, controlling those. That's really interesting. So somebody may have been controlling your, I don't know, like your hormonal or, like, feminine aspects, like trying to suppress them. I'm also hearing the Roe v. Wade overturning thing. Like, you may have dealt with some Kundalini awakening or spiritual awakening or even philosophical awakening related to like women's rights. If you're a woman, like your body, or even if you're a man, like maybe you have encountered women who have been experiencing like oppression related to their body. That's also coming through with this woman and the snake. Sometimes a woman as a snake is, like, seen as, you know, like Eve and the snake in the Garden of Eden, like the sin that, you know, brought childbirthing pains to the world. But in other traditions, snakes, and this is coming through with the yoga stuff also, there's these snakes called Nagini, or no, they're called not Voldemort's snake, but Naga. The Naga Buddha is, like, one of my favorite representations of the Buddha, and he's got these, like, 7 snakes, like, behind him. It's like an older, a little bit more obscure Buddhist tradition, I think rooted in India. And the Naga Buddhas are a little bit harder to come by, but, like, in more ancient traditions than those in the Bible, right? Snakes were venerated. I think that's the word, like, venerated. Yeah, like, worshipped. And I'm also thinking of the cosmic snake from Aboriginal Australia. It's like this rainbow serpent, which brings and holds all of the, like, basically cosmic energy of life. It's kind of like the veil, like the spirits of our ancestors and the knowledge of, like, the plants and the animals and the earth are all, like, held within this rainbow snake dream time space. It's essentially where you go when you dream, and it's always there. Everything that's always been and always will be is there. And, like, 3D form it's our temporary, like, illusion of separation. So you may have been in reflection over something regarding your 3D form and access to other traditions other than the one of, like, the female body being oppressed or controlled or divvied up. I'm also hearing that there's a book, I think, called My Body, My Planet, but he's holding this planet here, right, in the waters of the womb. There's an idea that the way we treat the planet is metaphorical for the way we treat our bodies or view our bodies, especially the female body, because the planet is Mother Gaia. She's the giver of life and creation. Anyway, that's interesting. That's a lot coming through. Whether you're male or female, these concepts can be applicable. If you're male, for instance, the Magician reversed. This is interesting too. The idea that we are manifesting for ourselves is one that can be viewed as a egoic aspect of magic. And the idea of yoga is to like yoke the spirit with the body, and your will becomes the divine will, or whatever it is that you believe in as a higher power. And so the idea of even having to manifest for yourself becomes sort of like superfluous, because like once your ego has sort of like died and been reborn enough times, you realize like it's all one, right? We're all one. So there's something here about the bending of the ego in the masculine archetype, whether this be within you or within your relationships with others or within your relationship with the planet. I don't know if it's bending or balance of the masculine archetype with the sort of subjugated feminine archetype, like a resurrection of feminine deification in some way. A balancing out. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, the devil, right in the middle of the reading, underneath the 7 of Cups reversed. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna cover up their little oops right there. Why is the devil here in the middle of your reading? 13, 14, 15. Again, you might be seeing just synchronicities. This is actually 31, but I saw it backwards. In the context of this reading, I'm seeing that the devil may very well be like the realization that a person needs an ego, or maybe the illusion that a person needs an ego to function like with stability. Maybe even the idea that stability is an illusion. I'm not sure. I think with this 7 of Cups reversed, that's kind of coming through. What is this devil for Scorpios in the middle of the reading? The High Priestess reversed and the 9 of Wands. That's really interesting. Okay, that one wants to come out too, I suppose. Justice. Whoa. So I was talking about this Emperor and the idea that he may be in a form of judgment. The 9 of Wands is our wounded warrior card, somebody who's been in battle, somebody who's kind of had the 8 staves from the 8 of Wands flying through the air. One of them hits him, and he uses all these staves to establish his wall, his boundaries, and he's got the one, he's sort of on the defensive. You may be healing from, if this is like a sort of feminine, oh man, communication is the one here. Calendula came out last week. I didn't really shuffle these cards. The soul flower cards. Our thoughts and words have great creative power, both positive and negative, for ourselves and others. Calendula helps soothe your thoughts and words with warmth and compassion and understanding. So there is a balance between assertiveness and receptiveness in communication with others. Interesting. So you're in this wounded warrior energy, and your High Priestess is reversed. And the cool thing about the High Priestess regarding communication is these pillars, Jachin and Boaz, they were made of brass, I think, in front of Solomon's temple. And I also think that they had these receptacles on top where like water would collect. And there's something about like if you've ever played a brass instrument, a musical instrument, you need to like warm it up first, because brass softens. It's like a really soft metal, and it warms the sound moving through it. And then water carries sound as well. And you have resurrection here with the scythe reverse, and then you have the pomegranates with the veil here. There's definitely something about the veil. This came across in your reading last week. Something about like seeing through the veil. Veils of illusion. In yoga, they are called, I think, chitta vritti. They're like mental constructs that cause this illusion of separation between you and samadhi, or the alignment with the divine or the one. And the foundation of these chitta vritti are ignorance. So this Seven of Cups reversed, illusions, the fox reversed, the cunning reversed, the devil and the emperor reversed is ignorance, perhaps willful ignorance. Maybe you've been doing something in willful ignorance that's coming to light. It may include not setting healthy or proper boundaries, especially as it relates to anything that may or may not involve your like devil, whatever that is, whatever your obsessions are, whatever your like if you have a hard time regulating, or if you've been in recovery, it could just be like whatever you are recovering from is sort of leaving your system at this time, and you're sort of, the veil is being lifted about whatever illusions you had regarding past situations. These illusions may very well be related either to why it is you were having difficulty manifesting before, or since this is on top of the communication card and the devil with the high priestess reverse and justice, like there's something, he's holding the scales and the sword of truth. There's something coming through, and then he's got this veil behind him too, like, and these pillars on either side. I think it's really interesting that he's coming up on top of this high priestess, and their cards are so reflective. Page of Swords reversed. Their cards are so reflective, like, of one another symbolically. He's got the sword, which can indicate the pen or writing, and she has the Torah, which is still being written, like the word of God, right? He's not the Hierophant, so it's not like he's not meting out like divine justice. He's meting out the justice of like man, or the physical. This is interesting. I think it has something to do with like how if we're in our like a spiritual overload and we forget the 3D reality and the tools in the 3D that we need to like ground that spiritual overload, there's almost like an element of self-injury, or this is how like something that can be sacred becomes like profane. Like the line between the two is fine. And that might be very well why this scythe is in reverse here. What is this divine justice? I have a good feeling about this divine justice. Like I feel like if you're in a legal situation, it's going in your favor. If you are waiting for some sort of divine justice in the 3D, like if you feel like people have been unjust in the past, there's something you're not seeing that's being revealed that is bringing justice to this situation. 10 of Cups reversed in the Moon. What you don't see. This 10 of Cups reversed is, I think, clarifying this Emperor Fox reversed, and this person or situation, whatever it was incredibly like cunning, or they thought they were being very cunning, and then instead it was like, no, very simply, this person's just making bad decisions, and they're making bad decisions. If you were in a 10 of Cups situation before, it undid your 10 of Cups situation. 10 of Cups can also be like the somewhere over the rainbow card, like the illusion of power, or again, the illusions in the 3D. This is such a strange and interesting and really cool reading, because I feel like it has a lot to do with like you navigating these boundaries between like what is real in the spiritual, what is real in the 3D, and how to reconcile them. And somewhere over the rainbow coming through is like Dorothy eventually discovers that the Wizard of Oz is just this like kind of sad little guy behind a curtain, right? And we have these curtains here like manipulating light and sound to create an illusion of power. And he's like running this whole kingdom, and he's from the same place that Dorothy's from. And she's like, well, why do I need your permission to do anything? So your devil might literally be just like you having overcome the idea that like anybody rules your sovereignty as a human being, like you discovering your own self-worth simply for the fact that you exist as a human being, as a creature with a soul on the planet. What is the moon with the high priestess? And I think that living in a world that's like as populated as our world is and functions kind of like it does, it can sometimes slip away from the mind that something alive is like a precious gift, you know, something as simple as like a clover or like a ladybug, or, you know, I just, that's what's coming through with this, is like your divine justice is basically, you went through these lessons in order to have gratitude for the very simple, like, gift of life. And maybe you were a bit jaded about that once. The moon is the Six of Wands reversed. Interesting. Six of Wands, the Emperor, and the Sun all reversed here, which does not seem like it would really go in your favor in a normal reading, but I have this really good feeling about it. Oddly. That's so interesting. What is this? This could be your own inner tyrant. Like the part of you, if you work really, really hard, if this is your devil, for instance, this could be you being like, no, I'm done like being a slave to my inner tyrant. Which could be why it's like this cunning fox, you know, your monkey mind, sort of you seeing through the illusions of your monkey mind, which can be very tricky and convincing and like circular in its reasoning with this seven, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you're becoming very, very grounded and steadfast, and you're looking back on everything you've sort of been through. If your family fell apart in favor of some sort of spiritual initiation, which can happen, right? We can, if we dedicate ourselves to what's in the 5D and lose touch with what's in the 3D, it can really undo the sort of the joy that we are looking for in pursuing like the 5D to begin with, or the enlightenment, right? There's, again, that fine line, like enlightenment can become the plateau of like another plane of darkness, essentially, or like you go through the exorcism of the 7 demons of the 7 chakras and then find that there's like the 8th chakra and the 9th chakra, and then like, you know, other things to work through outside of this sort of end game you may have considered. The Queen of Pentacles with the Scythe reversed. This is interesting also because the Scythe reversed means you are not bringing in a harvest or not bringing something to a close. And the Queen of Pentacles is like, she has everything she needs. Her veil is green, like the heart chakra. She has a red tunic on, indicating, again, the root chakra, the first chakra. You have that here, Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, and the Magician, red and white, which is interesting. And then the Justice as well. Like in the 4 directions, you are like highly protected is what I'm hearing with the red and the green, especially if you've been working on opening up your heart chakra or clearing through like the your heart chakra. What is the Queen of Pentacles with the Scythe reversed? The World. Okay. That's a really excellent card to finish that out. For some reason, what's coming through also is like, don't believe everything you read on the internet. You may have like gone into a rabbit hole on the internet, or you might be into like conspiracy theories or something, and this is like, if you're a researcher or something like that, especially into the esoteric arts, intuitive arts or something, really make sure that what you're researching has like a grounded impact in reality. I'm just covering up her because of YouTube. I think this is also really cool because you have the Six of Wands reversed here. Like, there might be a small loss or something that appears to be a loss, but then you have the World here with the laurel wreath and the laurel wreath, right? So you've got this tiny loss right here. Like, you've lost the battle, but you've won the war kind of deal. What is this? The Tower. Yeah, lost the battle, but won the war. This is Scorpio Aries energy. Aries energy here. You might be integrating some sort of like Aries energy. Again, if Aries is in your chart somewhere, this might help to reveal to you like what it is you're integrating at this time. The World and the Tower. It's like very Scorpionic energy. Huh. Judgment reversed. There it is. Yeah, this person is in a state of judgment. Or maybe you were operating in a state of judgment, false judgment, like resurrection, reverse. This is like fully putting an end to something. With the Tower and Judgment reversed. Lack consciousness, perhaps, with this Queen of Pentacles. I'm also hearing that song, "It's the end of the world as we know it." Oh man, if you're into some like end of the world conspiracy stuff, this is being this is being like offset this season by essentially realizing, like, again, that gift of life, like every little thing, like Pocahontas, right? Everything has a spirit, a soul, or a name. You're offsetting any, like, I'm getting like really weird download right now, but it's like you're offsetting any end of the world vibes, or like prophetic dreams are coming through as well, or like any kind of rabbit hole on the internet you've gone down that has kind of been like, oh man, the end of the world is coming, or something like that. Like, you're offsetting that by really focusing on offering appreciation and gratitude to the little things. And also what comes through with the High Priestess and Justice here, High Priestess reversed, it's like your power, the High Priestess's power is translating the law of God by seeing through the veils of illusion, by like being in this receptive state, right? But Jachin and Boaz, or Jachin and Boaz, I'm not sure how they're pronounced. He has strength, he establishes, is what they mean. She establishes strength and the foundations of an establishment through the written word and the spoken word. The idea of these brass pillars on either side of Solomon's temple with the water, or receptive, like, I think there was water on top. You might be, speaking of like internet rabbit holes, archaeoacoustics is like a really interesting concept, especially historically as it relates to like holy places, or even old like subterranean, there's like like the caves of Malta or something, I think is one of them. But essentially, like, people used to design churches and places of worship for sound, to create certain kinds of sounds, or like the geography, not geography, I can think, what's coming through is like the Freemasons, the archaeologists, the famous Freemason archaeologist, like, I cannot remember his name, but he was the archaeologist for Solomon's temple, and using geometry, thank you. So geometry, initial concepts from geometry, and also like ideas about sound and frequency healing. They would create these buildings that were literally designed to, like, speaking of sound healing, like bathe you in sound and heal your frequency. And so you may have been like not using the right language if you've been giving into concepts of like conspiracy theories or the end of the world, or, you know, this is how people operate today. Like, even saying that reinforces the idea, which is this magician, high priestess energy reversed. It's like you've been giving away your power to this devil energy by giving into sort of subconsciously perpetuated online like ideas of how the world operates. And this justice and the moon with the 10 of Cups and the High Priestess reversed and the Queen of Pentacles is you grounding these very real concepts of speaking your reality into existence, bathing the existence around you in like frequencies of healing, and doing so through these like tiny moments of appreciation and gratitude, and like allowing those to sort of take over. That's your Tower moment. That's your resurrection. Reversed. Judgment Day, right, is like the end. That's the end. That's when like God comes and takes all of the people away. I'm thinking about like the Left Behind series or something. And this is you being like, no, living in fear of that is what's creating all of this chaos. Like, that's an illusion. Going around and being in the moment with gratitude and appreciating like these small things and speaking my life into existence, choosing my words wisely, choosing what I reinforce through the like the sound frequencies vibrating out from me. I'm hearing just the very first words of Genesis in the beginning. What's the word? And the waters, and God spoke the word or something, and it like traveled out over the waters, and like he saw that its opposite was dark. I don't know the thing by heart, but that's occurring here with the High Priestess reverse Jacqueline and Boaz, like in the water. The idea that sound travels over water, or there's something about the waters of life as well with the Ankh here. The waters of life is literally you, like your body is like 90% water, right? Like spell casting, words, using your words and speaking things into existence. And like you're with the moon here and the waters as well, and the pillars on either side. These dogs represent the inner masculine. There's the coyote here, or the fox rather, reversed. Dogs are the inner masculine, cats are the inner feminine. This is you like taming the inner masculine to howl at the moon. And these little like bits of light coming down from the moon, they're like that's so interesting. I've never noticed this before, but this looks like an ocean in the background, and then there's like water here, right, and the lobsters coming out. But this path like goes up over it could be mountains, but it could also be the waters. And in the Thoth Tarot, The moon has these two towers on either side with like Anubis. So there's two dogs on either side. It's like the gateway of the dead. And then there's a scarab beetle at the bottom, and it's like coming up through, it like rolls the dung and like, I don't know, there's something about the scarab like being part of the energy of resurrection. It's like, instead of waiting for this judgment day, this resurrection, you're embracing this power to like resurrect what you forgot. Like, it could even be as simple as your inner child, like just going outside more. She's outside on her throne and she's got her pentacle, but this pentacle could literally just be her. Like, there's this rabbit, like the symbol of fertility, there's mountains, there's like roses all around her. It could be something as simple as just like that heart healing, that simple heart healing. Like, I don't have to live in fear of this crazy idea of the end of the world or revelations, you know. It's like the revelation is like you have the power to bring into existence what it is that you are offering your appreciation to. That appreciation and gratitude, right? It's like one of the highest vibing, like, emotional states. All right, I'm gonna close this all up. 4116 on the timer. We're gonna pull, I think, an oracle card. That was intense. This is not what I was expecting for the reading today. Had a lot of really strange, awesome information in it. If you did like this reading, please remember to like and comment and share, and subscribe. Just like and subscribe. If you don't do anything else, it really helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate all of those of you who have already. I love reading for you, so I'm glad to be here. I'm going to pull from this Inner Child deck. This is the deck I have owned for the longest, and it brings back like memories. Also, I think there's just some really great stories in this. It's the Inner Child like fairy tale tarot. You can book a personal with me on my Etsy. I only have 3 options right now, but I have a lot of slots available. You can donate on my Cash App if you would like, and then you can become a Patreon member. It's $5.55 a month. So that's that. So those are all in the description box below. What kind of message can we leave Scorpio off with today? This super cool reading. The Guardian Angel. These cards don't have reversals. They're happy, happy, joy, joy cards. There's a rainbow on here too. Really pretty. The Guardian Angel. This is a bit of a longer card, but I'm just going to read it. The Guardian Angel. Over the centuries, the 14th card of the major arcana, Temperance, has been depicted as an angel or archangel often pouring a magical elixir from one cup to another and standing with one foot on solid ground and the other foot in a pool of water. Yeah, that's like the whole energy of this reading. It's just you like really learning how to walk in both worlds. That's really cool. Known as Temperance, this figure represents the unification of spirit and soul energies, and on another turn of the spiral, it represents the alchemical process by which a human personality becomes infused with divine light and wisdom. In Inner Child cards, the image on this card is the Guardian Angel, the being who watches over the evolution of a child and protects and heals it during times of crisis. 4404 on the timer. You may have had a Guardian Angel as a child, or like an imaginary friend or something, and you may be realizing that this is like a spirit guide who's been watching over you. You might be coming back into contact with that, or like you may have recently, which could have caused that spiritual awakening. That just came through as a little download. Excuse me. The Inner Child cards, in the Inner Child cards, the image on this card is the Guardian Angel, the being who watches over the evolution of a child and protects and heals it during times of crisis. In the Middle Ages, The great painters of Europe drew halos above the heads of angels. This was the cosmic sign that these beings were ringed in spiritual light and were emissaries of God. Later on, saints, priestesses, magicians, and other celestial messengers, the literal meaning of the word angel is messenger, were also overlighted by a halo. Thus, divine glorification and initiation do occur within the human realm. Guardian angels are seen either as forces outside ourselves, keeping us from danger, or as soul aspects of our identities, or even as our higher selves. While part of the meaning of temperance is moderation and abstinence, the word's higher association is with the Latin tempore, a time period or season for all things under heaven. There is also a link to the Latin temporare, meaning to mix, blend, or regulate. Aleister Crowley, in designing his tarot deck, called this card art. This is Aleister Crowley's tarot deck, by the way, the Thoth Tarot. To create beautiful art or music, one combines the angelic or higher forces of inspiration with physical materials and instruments. This is reminiscent of the age-old fascination with alchemy, the changing of lead into gold, where lead is the unenlightened personality and gold is the soul-infused spiritual disciple. In esoteric circles focusing on meditation, visualization, and magical rituals, there's a special goal that is often described as the attainment of conversation or communion with one's holy guardian angel. Apparently, all human beings are blessed with angelic presences who nurture and guide us during incarnation, but we each have an overlighting figure who might be termed our good angel, watching over us. We merge into this angel when crossing the threshold known as death. So this is coming through as well. Jesus's guardian angel or over angel was supposed to be Michael, he who is like God. At least some people think that, who we called upon when this reading began. Interesting. More and more people are discussing their revelatory experiences, which often include life-transforming encounters with a guardian angel or exalted light being. Surely you ran into something like that recently. In children's stories, fairy godmothers, helpful wizards, and good fairies are variations on the greater theme of the guardian angel. Again, with that Wizard of Oz good fairy thing coming through. And then we had judgment reversed, like revelations reversed essentially here, like in two different forms. So you may be like an earth angel. You might have experienced like a certain kind of enlightenment. You might be like realizing some divine aspect. Yeah, you have definitely encountered something. Let me know in the comments what has come up for you regarding this, because there's a lot of like synchronicities in this reading, and there was a lot of intense like spiritual energy. And there's something about like when in the Old Testament, especially when people encountered angels, there was like a sort of horror about it almost. Like it was awesome was like one of those words that was also meant to depict a sort of fear, like something beyond the realm of the 3D that involves fear, although there's like an element of protection there. So it's like you've encountered the line somehow. When this card appears in your reading, open your heart and mind to the gentle rhythms that can restore your sense of balance and equilibrium. There's all that water energy here too. Often when we are making a major life changes, we need protection and guidance. As a young child, it is very important to feel safe. The Christian prayer calling on the guardian angel has brought peace to many children. Quote, "Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side to light and guard, to rule and guide." Unquote. In much the same way as adults, we have learned to surround ourselves with white light when in danger or doubt. Do you feel safe and secure? Call for the assistance of higher forces. They will come and tenderly embrace you. The traditional tarot archetype is Temperance, and the zodiacal ruler is Sagittarius. And we have the new moon in Sagittarius. So that is your energy for this week, Scorpio. Thank you for being here. I look forward to reading for you again tomorrow. Bye.